Next, we've got an X-Wing.
That is not an X-Wing.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Fromania Bricks. And welcome to the 13th fanciest recording studio in our house, the front foyer. Which isn't even fully a foyer, it's more of a hallway. But here we are, coming back at you. We've said this before, we don't really have just a Lego room in our house, because our house is more of a Lego house. Now maybe not the Lego house in Billund, Denmark, but it is a house full of brick. And every room is decorated, or littered, decorated with brick. And today, we're going to take you into one of those rooms. But Micah, before we invade your personal space and step into a teenager's domain, I've got an important question for you. I need to know, have you heard the joke about the bed before?
I have not.
You've not? That's because it hasn't been made yet. But hopefully, your bed has been made. But I do need to know, Micah, do you still have corduroy pillows?
No, I do not.
Good thing, because they're making headlines everywhere. All right, Micah, I think that we're ready to bring people into Cloud City here and let them see the amazing Star Wars Lego treasures that lurk just beyond this door. All right, Micah, we did it. We just revealed your bedroom to the entirety of the internet webs. Literally, the entire internet has now stepped into your threshold, and we're gonna all watch you sleep at night. Actually, I say the entire internet. It's like 200 people that we'll ever see in your bedroom. But because these 200 people were invited into your bedroom, this is the cleanest that I have ever seen your bedroom. So I think that every Sunday, we should film a room tour. That way we can start the week with a clean...
idea.
Are you sure? I thought it was a good idea, and I think your mommy would too. All right, behind us here, let's start right here. Right when you open the door, we get this minifigure display case. Now, you and this minifigure display case have a bit of a love-hate relationship, because one day you walked into said minifigure display case that had Cloud City Boba Fett in it. You put Cloud City Boba Fett on the shelf and boom, 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 boom. Shelves fall onto the floor. Did Cloud City fall on the floor during that?
The first two shelves survived. I think the bottom two fell out though.
It was bad. You did break a pretty expensive minifigure in the process, though.
So bravely sacrificed himself.
All right, so these look like minifigs of honor. Tell us what we're looking at here. Let's start up here on the top shelf.
So that's the complete set of 20th anniversary figs from 2019. I got all the sets that came in the Obi-Wan poly bag. I don't know if I got him sealed or on eBay. But that's a fun set to have for sure. This is probably the most rare row of figs. You've got Zuckuss, Rio, UCS Razor Crest figs, Prototype Boba. Then below that, there's Pong Krell's probably the rarest on that.
Who's this tall guy? He is so tall.
Yeah, that's Pong Krell. He was a Jedi from the Clone Wars, and
fittingly, this is what you look like compared to the rest of the family now, because you have exceeded all of us in height.
Next is a bunch of snowtroopers, stormtroopers, and I just put Fennec in there. She shouldn't be there, but I had an empty space. Lastly, some more Empire ones, some incomplete sand troopers, astromechs, a rebel astromech that wound up there because I had put everything in except him, and I realized I wanted him in there, and he just had to go there.
It's a super cool case. We got this case at Bricks and Minifigs in Brentwood, and I don't think that they work with this provider anymore. They moved to a new case provider, correct? It's a good case. It just didn't stick together.
I did move it around too much, so it's kind of my fault, but...
So you're saying it's on you?
Yes.
All right. Before we get to what you're looking at now, let's peek over here. I see some other figs laid out over here that have not been wall mounted yet, but they are ready. These flat Lego panels are actually going to be command stripped to your wall. This is under the inspiration of duck bricks, correct?
Yes, yeah.
And they will soon be hanging, but they're not hanging quite yet. Who do we have here? Give me a couple of highlights on these two boards.
So my favorites are the Empire characters. Most of these aren't as rare. They're ones I just wanted on display but weren't crazy. I've got some of the Battlefront Stormtroopers. There's a couple custom figures, Empire guys on there. These two Shadow Troopers are probably my favorite. Then the second half is Rebels. There's an army of R2-D2s and C-3POs. First Order Troopers, Sith Troopers, those guys. And a couple Resistance, and then the army of BB-8s.
Now, who is this guy? I love this color. That doesn't feel like a normal Star Wars color.
Yeah, he came in the Resistance Y-Wing set. He's really neat, but I just realized his leg is really dirty. Looks like I bathed him in candy or something.
At least he's not Sharpied like a litany of your minifigures. And I'm excited to get these on the wall. Do you know where they're going to go on the wall just yet?
I don't know. There's a lot of free space.
A lot of free space. Look at all of the free open space on your walls, Micah. Crazy amount of free space. I'm going to guess probably somewhere up here or up here. And maybe we'll hang a Death Star right here. What we will say is that all of our rooms are works in progress. All of our rooms are ever evolving and just a lot of work to do on them. So before we jump into the actual Lego, let's look at some of the artwork on your walls real quick. And I know this isn't necessarily Lego, but we have a couple of art pieces from Disney. Those came from the Art of Disney?
I think so. They were a gift from my grandpa, so I don't know exactly where he got them.
We've got this beautiful centerpiece right here.
I think we have Jeff Bezos to thank for that one. But
Jeff Bezos is definitely one to thank for that. A couple of schematics, because maybe you're working on conquering the world. Yes. And then a Millennium Falcon schematic, and that's because the UCS Millennium Falcon used to sit right here, which that's not the UCS Millennium Falcon, but it used to sit right here. And then up here, a couple of more small pieces of artwork. A Lewis Hamilton helmet, because the Force was with Lewis Hamilton at one point in his career, and it's not right now. The question is will you update that to a Ferrari helmet, or will that go away?
Eventually it'll probably wind up being something Star Wars, but I have no immediate plans to get rid of it.
So fittingly with your helmet signage, we do have, what are these called? Are these just the helmet collection?
Yeah, the helmet collection. I'm only missing 3 of them, actually. So, starting with Darth Vader, then we have the Scout Trooper, Stormtrooper, Phase 2 Captain Rex, Phase 1 Commander Cody. The rarest one of them, by far, is the TIE Fighter pilot helmet.
And by far the coolest of them.
Yes, for sure.
That is an amazing helmet design.
Yeah, the thing, when you look at the eBay prices, and it didn't retire that long ago, it's insane. That one, I don't know why. It must just not have been as popular, and now it's rare.
And then an X-Wing helmet, which my
that.
hard hat at work actually used to be painted like that. It's super cool. I say used to be, it still is. I just can't wear that hard hat anymore.
And then finally is Boba Fett, and then the Jesus.
Oh, and then Jesus of Nazareth. We also have a Jesus of Nazareth minifig. I think that was from
Eclipse Graphics.
Eclipse Graphics. They did this really cool Jesus minifig. We've been going through the Chosen series, and this was my minifig, but it's now Micah's. I've given that minifig to Micah.
I tried to hunt it down on eBay, and apparently people aren't willing to part with it, so.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, that is a good sign.
That's a good sign that people are hanging on to their Jesus of Nazareth minifigs, because we should all keep Jesus close by. So I already kind of pointed in this direction. We have a lot of blue and white guys up here. I mean, there is no shortage of blue and white minifigures, Micah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite displays. That's 80-90% of my 501st Troopers, and they look so good in that blue case.
It's pretty amazing looking. How many figs did you fit in there?
32, 2 in each slot, and there's 16 slots.
That is optimizing the Lego space.
I have a couple Captain Rexes, or several Captain Rexes, and a pilot and a standard trooper that aren't in there, but that's most of them.
Then, when we look down just a little bit, like we said, this used to be a different type of TV stand, and it had the UCS Millennium Falcon on it, but you have traded that out for something a little different.
Yeah, so this is the recently retired gunship. We got it like a month before it retired. That's one I'm really happy to have gotten. And there's more free space next to it than I normally would ever allow, but I'm trying to budget space for Betrayal at Cloud City, which is coming soon here.
There is a lot of free space. I actually have never seen you space something out so openly. Yes. Yeah, it's kind of fun.
My plan is to either scooch it and put Cloud City there, or move one of these UCS and then put Cloud City up here.
Do you think that there would be room for Betrayal at Cloud City and that gunship on that shelf?
I think so. But it'd hang off, but I think it would fit. I don't know if it'd be cluttered, though.
So under the UCS gunship, I know it's kind of dark under here, but I see another gunship. This was off of the September wave of 2023, yes. Correct?
Yes.
And then, is that a Bad Batch shuttle hiding in the back?
Yeah, that's the Bad Batch attack shuttle and the Omega from the Advent calendar.
They're so dark. They just live in darkness.
I'm really glad they put her in an Advent calendar because I didn't want to pay for the one in the Justifier.
And then what are in these cases here?
Okay, so those cases, Snow Troopers and Storm Troopers. I have a couple straggler Snow Troopers. That's most of my Snow Troopers. There's the Inquisitor Scythe, the collection of mechs, and then a handful of clone troopers here.
It literally is a handful.
Yes.
You literally had a handful of clone troopers.
I packed those guys about as tight as I physically could.
And then another gunship. This was a bribe. That gunship was a bit of a bribe to get you to go on a roller coaster at Disney when you were how old?
Probably 6, I would guess.
The pieces had forever gotten lost into our bulk brick, and you dug them out and you recreated it because you can't have this guy.
Yes.
And not have this guy.
That's actually part of why I waited to get the big one. It was because it was reminding me of the little one that I sorted when I was little, and it just made me sick.
And then what is this ship here? Did you already talk about him?
No, that's the Mandalorian, I want to say Gauntlet Starfighter that I got at Bricks and Minifigs that I wanted to get after it retired. I didn't get it when it was on the shelf, and then Vigar Saxon went up and it made me sick. I hadn't got it, so I had to get it aftermarket.
Then we have a couple of boxes here.
Yep.
We have a box for
the Ultimate Collector Series Snowspeeder. I actually got it sealed and opened it, but definitely keeping the box for that one. And then there's the box for Grievous's Starfighter. Not a super rare set, but to have this old of a box is pretty fun, so I'm keeping that one in here too.
Now this case here, we did a little video about this in your haul. This was a case that goes with Jango Fett's Slave One.
Yes, so there was a variant that came packed with this. There was a cardboard box they both sat in, and a little piece of cardboard up here that I really want to get, but I don't think I'll ever find. But I've kind of piecemealed a set together.
This has become your trade-in case.
Yes.
This is almost like the equivalent of a briefcase full of money. Micah stuffs this full with minifigs and stuff that he's taking to Bricks and Minifig to trade, or things he needs to transport. And it's that. This is Micah's briefcase of goodies.
Yes.
All right. Before we get behind the glass, let's run across the top of your shelves here.
So this is due back from Mos Eisley Cantina.
Who's it due back to? Who's it due back? What's it due back to?
It is due back to work and being ridden by a Sam Trooper. I haven't built his saddle he needs yet.
Next to that, we've got a couple of Bobas because Micah, if you guys don't know, does not enjoy Boba Fett minifigs.
Yeah, so this is my collection of classic Boba Fett minifigures. I've got one more sitting in the closet that I'm gonna hopefully add soon, and I hope to get a couple more. Those are fun ones to collect a lot of. I have all the different classic Bobas there, and 2 of one of them, and then gonna get another one of the old gray ones soon.
And then in this case next to it, this looks like a ragtag bunch of bad guys.
Yeah, this is main Empire, mostly leadership. So highlights in here are going to be Grand Moff Tarkin, the officers from the UCS Star Destroyer, Krennic, Moff Gideon, UCS AT-AT Figs, the Death Troopers from Krennic's shuttle, Mimban Stormtrooper, and then there's also Palpatine and Vader.
And are these Boba Fett's?
Yeah, this is just an army of Boba Fett's I've assembled next to the Slave One UCS.
I've never seen that print on a Boba Fett. He almost looks cartoonish.
Yeah, that's what Boba Fett, the book of Boba Fett minifig. So it's like his armor is...
I've not read that book. Have you read the book?
No, but I've seen the TV show.
Oh my word. Behind it, I see a lightsaber hilt tucked away and hiding.
So that was actually the gift with purchase for the Ultimate Collector Series AT-AT. That I do still have the box for it.
And I also see a wire to an Apple TV. If you've never seen one of those before, really, really nice wire. Next, we've got an X-Wing.
That is not an X-Wing.
Like I said, next we've got a TIE Fighter. Is this the infamous Bargain Hunt TIE Fighter?
Yes, this is the Bargain Hunt TIE Fighter.
We found this TIE Fighter at Bargain Hunt, and it was listed while it was a current set, correct?
I think it was, I forget if it was in stock on Lego, but it was current, I think. But maybe it had retired, I'm not sure.
It was 50% off. We bought that retail new sealed in box for 50% off. We actually bought 2 of them.
No, we bought, I think, 3 or 4 of them.
We bought a bunch of them. We sold a couple on eBay that actually helped pay for this one for Micah. Next to that, we have the contents of the box that you already saw, which is the T-47 Airspeeder, better known as Snowspeeder.
And then the minifigs to that are here. Boba Fett from the Slave One, and 2 of the TIE Fighter pilots who went to this TIE Fighter.
So how many total Boba Fetts do you have?
I think it's coming up to 20 or 30, but I'm not sure. I counted. It's a lot.
Oh, and my new favorite. This is one of my new favorites. Well, you see here we have our I Love Lego Store Cool Springs, which is a mall. That sign needs to be protected by someone. That's right. It needs to be protected by Paul Blart. Paul Blart has a new, upgraded, newly designed Segway designed by Micah. Super fun. There's also the goat herder tucked away and another droid hiding out back behind the Snowspeeder too. If you'll see, Paul Blart is right by the entrance to Micah's bedroom, and that is so you will truly sleep safe at night. All right, Micah, we've done that. We've covered about everything else in the room. Let's go ahead and dive into this case here. Now, this is brand new. You did have a dresser here, and we realized that you needed a better way to showcase some of your Lego rarities and oddities, because these are a lot more valuable than clothing. Though we do want you always wearing clothing.
Yes, we do.
And you do still have clothing present. We needed this instead. So we just got this case like a month ago. It's a really cool light-up case that changes colors. And in it, Micah has been able to put some of his rare, more beautiful Star Wars treasures. So I'm going to open up the doors as we look at these, because the reflections will be really bad. And let's talk through some of the things that you have hiding down here, Micah.
Okay, so starting off in this one, we've got the 2016 Clone Turbo Tank. I saw that one in the Bricks and Minifig store. And after rolling it around on the counter for a couple seconds, I had to have it.
Its suspension is really cool.
Yes.
Like, it can crawl over and roll over. I think we even did a review video on this turbo tank, didn't we?
Okay, so next off is Obi-Wan Kenobi's Jedi Starfighter. You've got not 1, but 2 Angry Jangos to accompany it. And then there's my 180-degree misprinted Airborne clone. I know we mentioned him in my minifig collection video, but he's really neat. I pulled him out of just my bulk bins of Star Wars. He'd been in there for who knows how long, and it's a 180-degree misprint, so that's a really neat one to have.
I know who this guy over here is. This is none other than the Leppin Boba Fett.
So this is him. This is the legendary Cloud City Boba Fett. He's gotten no cracks that I'm aware of, and is in pretty good condition.
So what would you have done if your shelf would have fallen and this guy would have cracked?
I would have cried a million billion tears.
I love this brick right here too, behind it. That is SW0107 Boba Fett, which is his item number from the Cloud City set. And we had that made at the brick maker at...
Yes.
Not the brick maker, the minifig maker at the Lego store. Now behind it is Micah's audience. These guys line up every night and watch Micah fall asleep as Micah stares back at them.
So, and here there's some more basic clones. You got a lot of the new Phase 2 clones, some Kashyyyk. But the real rare ones here are the Commander Wolf I just knocked over, Fox, Cody, Rex, some of the Wolfpack Troopers. Actually markered on parts of those Phase 2 Wolfpack Troopers, which is very sad.
And a couple of ships behind them.
Yeah, so this is the Bark Speeder with Sidecar set, Battle Packs, more of that Bark Speeder set in a poly bag. And there's not one, but two Phase 2 Captain Rexes from the old set, and then the one from the UCS Venator.
Of course, because you can't just have one face. You have to have two faces.
Well, these are actually both Phase 2. Phase 1 is back there. I don't know if that counts as several.
So why is there not a Phase 3?
I don't think they ever made a Phase 3. There is like an old Captain Rex for like it's time that I want to get. Haven't got yet. I damaged my original one, so I had to go and buy another one.
Now this is a newer acquisition into your collection here on this side.
So that is the original Jango Fett Slave 1. I think it was only the second play scale Slave 1 Lego ever made. And that one is really cool, especially to have a box with.
Yeah, having a box alongside that is really neat. Then you've got another set with box beside that.
Yeah, so that is Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter. Not nearly as rare, but it goes with the Jango Slave one, and you get like the advertising on the box. You'll see them advertised together. Same story on the Slave 1 box, I believe.
So are you going to get the third set that's advertised on the back of that?
Wait, which one was it? So there's this one. This one is cool. I don't really want it that bad, but then the gunship set is one I want really, really bad.
So one day maybe we'll be able to stuff it right
Hopefully.
here.
Yes, yeah, that gunship I really want. I got this box on its own on eBay. It was the only seller on eBay or Bricklinks who had just the box. And I got it after I got the set and wished I had a box with it.
This is one of the classic X-Wings. That was a Christmas gift to you.
Yes.
Again, another awesome bricks and minifig find. And then there is this an Imperial transport shuttle?
This is the Imperial shuttle.
I said it right.
Yes.
Or no, it's not a transport.
I don't know if you would call it. Yeah, it's transport. It's
Do people go in it?
Yes.
Do they move from one place to another?
Yes, they do.
It's a transport.
Yeah, so actually, everything in this case, all the sets, except for this thing, are bricks and minifigs.
That's wild. So we should put a little, like, sponsored by Bricks and Minifig sign in here.
Yeah. This one's a really fun story. I bought that case on Bricklink, and the seller put this in it for me, too.
That's really cool. It was a spider droid? Is that what it was called?
I think it's a vulture droid.
Vulture droid? It's a droid.
It's a droid. Then there's these. This is my retro clone trooper collection, which I'd like to get more to add to that, but for now...
Are they from the 1900s?
I don't think so. This guy's 2002. I think he's the oldest one here. These guys are 2005-6. The Kashyyyk Scout Trooper and 442nd. Those are two of the rarest ones on there.
All right, let's move over to the second case over here. All right, so we are now in the second case. What are we exploring and discovering in this case?
Okay, so first off is my army of 20 Death Troopers. I
feel really intimidated with them all staring at me.
I got 10 of the battle pack when they came out, so that's a really fun army. Back here are some of my rarer Imperial troops. You've got not the 2 that came in the set, but 4 range troopers, because I got 2 trains to make a longer train. The 2 got 2 gunners, 2 specialty trooper guys, shore troopers, sand troopers, and mortar troopers.
Up top up here, I see some of the figs that came from the minifig maker.
So from left to right, you have the Stormtrooper. His torso is from a Fortnite minifigure maker special. This is custom printed Darth Vader torso. Bricks and Minifigs Christmas torso. Middle Tennessee Brick Club torso. Then this is my minifig that you got me with the Fromania Bricks torso. But I have a Stormtrooper helmet to keep the theming going here. 100 Years of Bricks and Minifigs printed brick. Many Superheroes Today printed brick. And then my name printed brick that I got from Minifigure Maker.
That's really cool how you have all of those displayed.
Thank you. And then you've got, I'll call him Stormtrooper Bob. The story behind this guy is that after Darth Vader killed Obi-Wan in the Death Star, he found a perfectly good robe and lightsaber sitting on the ground and took them for himself.
Sketchy, bro.
Yeah.
Is this a storyline you made up, or is this a real storyline?
I just came up with that guy.
I think it should be canon.
I think it should too.
I see the blue guy, two of the blue guys.
So, I wanted Thrawn, but I hadn't got into collecting rare Lego yet. So I went and bought a custom. It was still pretty pricey, actually, for a minifig.
Customs are very expensive nowadays.
But it's pretty cool. But the fact that it wasn't an authentic Lego drove me crazy. And I wound up getting the actual Thrawn minifig with the whole set, actually.
Yeah, this was a sealed set, correct? It was the Ghost, it was Thrawn, and it was not this case that you got at Brick Universe in Nashville. But it was a new sealed set, which is super cool to find.
Yes, that one was very neat.
You got a puppy dog next to it. I see a Lego puppy dog.
So that's the ATT. This is actually a current set.
Lego puppy dog.
I've bolstered the ranks of my 212 with 3 of the Europe exclusive little paper bag, and then 1 from the Advent calendar. Then over here is my 3rd Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter. And the unique thing here, let me get that out, is I've got an error part. It's hard to see, but it's actually marbled, and there's like another color mixed into the mold.
That's really cool.
Interesting. Yes.
Your brother also just got an error part in the Lion Knight's castle, and it's a piece that's actually bent. It's like a 1x8 or 1x10 that is literally just bent in half. Now the bottom shelf here.
Okay, so here is Jabba's palace. I already had a Jabba the Hutt, Bib Fortuna, his little pet, so I just got it without minifigs at Bricks and Minifigs, which is kind of ironic when you say it that way. And then I have the Rancor pit that I had as a kid with the Rancor still in there. And there's an army of Stormtroopers on there. I hide these guys in my case sometimes, but I haven't re-hidden them since I reorganized. So we're just hanging out on there.
And I do see the Rancor under here. He is a super expensive fig.
Yes, yeah.
He's just kind of lurking in the shadows.
Yeah, he deserves to be displayed better. There's just not room. This is my kind of small little droid army setup. There's a bunch of droiding.
Wait, don't go too far here. Let's not overlook that this is actually a protest.
Yeah.
Birds aren't real.
The highlights here are the tactical droid, which is one of my favorite minifigs in my collection. You've got the smiling Jango, so not quite as rare as the angry Jango. Clone Wars Dooku. Dooku from the 2013 set, but he has the Clone Wars Dooku's torso. I just kind of piecemealed him together. Grievous, Magna Guards are main interesting things here. He can just sit like that.
Grievous used to be your favorite fig, and now this is it? Now he can just sit here now.
He's very...
That is heartbreaking. This literally used to be one of your favorite characters and favorite minifigs, and you just throw him down. You're like, you can sit right here.
I didn't want to delay the video. Oh, these can't move. This is a non-Lego Slave 1 that my brother found
in
a bin of things like this, and he gave it to me because I have the set. So I don't know where I'm going to put this yet. Spare Jango Fett torso. And then
the infamous Stitches.
Gungan sub.
This sub will forever be called Stitches. This set, as you were opening it up, there were some loose things in it, and you kind of panicked, and you were trying to cut open the queen's bag, and instead you cut open your flesh, and you bled, and you got stitches, and you got a story. The best Lego has stories to tell. Well, Micah, thanks for letting us step into your room, step into your domain, invade your privacy, and see your amazing Lego collection. I will say I feel much safer knowing that Paul Blart is protecting you at night. I always worried about the amount of stuff you have in here, and I'm like, man, like this is like Fort Knox. Like people want what's in this room, but Paul Blart is here, so don't mess around. If you had to pick one item in here that you would say is your absolute favorite, what item would that be?
Well,
and everyone's listening.
The Jesus minifigure. If I had to pick an
yes!
favorite Star Wars thing is definitely Cloud City Boba Fett.
Very cool. He was your white whale.
Yes.
That's no longer a white whale. He's a mini fig in your room. Micah, thanks for the tour. We're going to definitely have to continue to tour you all around the rest of the house. We do have a Lego room that has the bulk of our Lego, but there's literally Lego everywhere. Caleb's room is filled with Lego. The living room is filled with Lego. The dining area is filled with Lego. Our bedroom is filled with Lego. The homeschool room is filled with Lego. I don't think that there's a room in our house that does not have Lego, except maybe the pantry. Maybe the pantry.
Yeah.
But thanks for hanging out with us to see this Lego room. And before long, we will let you see some of the other Lego rooms. And maybe one day, we keep saying it, we'll do a tour of our entire collection. But until then, keep using these little plastic bricks to build life and build beauty around you. Let it build friendship, let it build relationship, let it build stories, let it build connection, let it build life. And we hope that you do that you go out there, that you keep building, and you keep smiling, because those smiles, they truly are contagious.
Share more in love.